Carla and Ari in the morning.
Hey Ari, how are you?
Hey Carla, I'm good. How are you doing? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Well, last week was rough. I feel like I know the news anchors personally from watching so much news and scrolling through Twitter so much. Um, but on Saturday when they announced that Biden won, I didn't realize how much stress I was carrying. And yeah, it felt like a weight was lifted, just like knowing, right? Knowing who's going to be the next president and having some conclusion, having some closure to a week of a lot of anxiety and stress. What about you?
Yeah, similarly, I felt the same way. Like I was anxious all week about what was going to happen. I had, as the week progressed, I felt like probably it was going to go towards Biden, but I just really wanted to know. Um, and I have to say, I'm also really excited about the fact that, we have, for the first time in history, a woman vice president who's also a woman of color, half Black, half Indian, and who's from the Bay Area. She's like repping the Bay Area, and now she's going to be heading to the White House, and that's super exciting.
Yeah, and I think that, and not just me, but I think the whole community is really hoping that when we turn on the news, we hear a little bit less hate and less stress, and that we start to really think of ways to get COVID-19 under control, because we miss you all and we really wish that we were together. So I know that they gave some speeches last night, and we have some of our favorite clips from both Harris and Biden speeches. So here you go.
And protecting our democracy takes struggle, it takes sacrifice, but there is joy in it, and there is progress, because we, the people, have the power to build a better future. And to the American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record numbers to make your voices heard. And I know times have been challenging, especially the last several months. The grief, sorrow, and pain, the worries and the struggles. But we have also witnessed your courage, your resilience, and the generosity of your spirit. For 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and justice, for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted. And you delivered a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth. And to the woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother, Shamala Gopalan Harris, who is always in our hearts. When she came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment, but she believed so deeply in an America where a moment like this is possible. And so I am thinking about her and about the generations of women, Black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women, who throughout our nation's history have paved the way for this moment tonight. Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty and justice for all, including the Black women who are too often overlooked, but so often prove they are the backbone of our democracy. And what a testament it is to Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exists in our country and select a woman as his vice president. But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last. Because now is when the real work begins. The hard work, the necessary work, the good work, the essential work to save lives and beat this epidemic, to rebuild our economy so it works for working people, to root out systemic racism in our justice system and society, to combat the climate crisis, to unite our country and heal the soul of our nation. And the road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready. And so are Joe and I.
The people of this nation have spoken. They've delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory, a victory for we the people. We've won with the most votes ever cast on a presidential ticket in the history of the nation, 74 million. And I'm humbled by the trust and confidence you've placed in me. I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify, who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States. I sought this office to restore the soul of America, to rebuild the backbone of this nation, the middle class, and to make America respected around the world again, and to unite us here at home. It's the honor of my lifetime that so many millions of Americans have voted for that vision. And now, the work of making that vision is real. It's a task, the task of our time. Folks, as I said many times before, I'm Jill's husband. And I would not be here without her love and tireless support of Jill. Jill's a mom, a military mom, an educator. And she has dedicated her life to education. But teaching isn't just what she does, it's who she is. For American educators, this is a great day for y'all. You're going to have one of your own in the White House. And all those who supported us, I'm proud of the campaign we built and ran. I'm proud of the coalition we put together, the broadest and most diverse coalition in history. Democrats, Republicans, independents, progressives, moderates, conservatives, young, old, urban, suburban, rural, gay, straight, transgender, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. I mean it, especially those moments, and especially those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb. The African-American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll have yours.
Wow, that was really inspiring. It was really nice to hear Biden talking about trying to unify the country, and that he's really going to be a president for all people. I feel like, you know, the country has become more and more divided, and I really believe in the importance of us being a United States of America. And I think, you know, like, we really have to start being willing to be open-hearted and open-minded with people that don't necessarily agree with us before we can get there. And so I'm really hopeful that he's able to sort of pull that off in these next 4 years.
Yeah, I think my two favorite parts, I definitely cried during the speeches. My two favorite parts were, one, when Harris was saying that, you know, she's the first woman in the White House, but she won't be the last. I love that. And especially, you know, as a Black and Asian woman, she, you know, she's really representing a lot of little girls that I know are looking up to her. And the other thing that I really, really appreciated was when Biden acknowledged the African American community, and, you know, a community that has been disenfranchised and, you know, has, you know, this country has made it really hard for them to vote. And he acknowledged that community, which, you know, really pulled through. You know, and one of the states where you really saw that was Georgia.
Yeah, that was a big deal. It was the first time in like 30 years that Georgia has voted Democratic. So that was a pretty big deal from what I understand. And I've heard that there's still a couple important elections that are happening. I believe it's January 5th that there's going to be a runoff election for the Senate. So I know a lot of folks right now are organizing to try and make sure that everybody has the right to vote in that election as well, because that's going to be a really important one.
Historically in Georgia, there's been a lot of folks that have not, that have been stripped of their right to vote. And it's really, really important that we, that we do whatever we can. And the idea is not that you're volunteering because you're trying to push a specific candidate, but there's a lot of places where you can phone bank just to help people register to vote. The deadline to vote there is, I believe, November 17th. And so if you're able to phone bank, please do so. I know that your teachers would probably be willing to give you extra credit for that. So please do that. It would be really, really great. And, it's something to do while you're stuck at home.
Well, it's nice to be able to breathe a sigh of relief to just have the information, to know who our next president is going to be. I hope that you all are also breathing a sigh of relief and feeling good about these next few months. And also, Wednesday is Veterans Day, which means there's no classes. So you can take an extra deep breath and rest and relax and rejuvenate. And celebrate on Wednesday.
Ariana, I don't know if you know this, but every time that there's a holiday or a change of schedule or something, a bunch of students get confused about what classes they have. So Thursday, you have your regular schedule, you have advisory and then periods 4, 5, and 6.
That's right.
One more thing before we go. I don't know if you know this, so it might be breaking news to you. We're going to have another round of school supplies in January. And when we do that, everybody, and I mean everybody, is gonna get an Arise hoodie.
What?
Yeah, I figured, we need a little gift to just, really say we battled through this year and we're gonna make it. And by the time it's January, it'll be chilly, so I think we all need a hoodie. But Leslie and I are designing the hoodie, and we need people's input.
Yes, and so there is a link in advisory slides for everybody to vote. This is going to be the most important vote of 2020, obviously, is the color of the Arise hoodie for this year. Super important. So your advisors will be sending you all a link. Please vote. There are 3 color choices, and the winning color will be the next color of our Arise hoodies.
Thank you, everybody. Really, really appreciate you. Much love. See you around in your Zoom classes. Bye.
Carla and Ari in the morning.